Hello everybody and happy January 14th. Silka is learning how to use a ladder. Oh. Nice.
I can't tell. Which way are you?
I was up and straight.
Held it for a while?
Yeah.
Let's go back the other way. I see it's moving now. And that's all the way. Go back the other way. Leave it there. Huh?
So more straight than top.
Yeah, I think so.
Alright.
So now you can.
Alright guys, my next stop will be the beach. I'll let them do what they gotta do, I do.
And it is not perfect. You're going to find almost no matter what you do when it's happening.
Wow. Mission accomplished. Jerry Hayes would be proud.
No, but there are little guides. This little guide it in.
Yeah, just look at what it looks like when you're
Oh, what's she gonna do now? Ooh. She got it. She's got it.
Now, the French switch in. And you see the French gauge? You like the pressure on it? I like the pressure gauge. There's no pressure on it? Wiggle the left and right, just push it forward back. And release that pressure. Now, if that red switch is out, you'll be moving and you'll be banging around and but that's to release the pressure. Now you leave the rest of the boat. Flex it on.
We're at Bridge Avenue Beach, and the beach is still here. That's always the good news, right? I came up here and there was no beach. Can you imagine? Woman walking with a child, I didn't want to clean her out and focus on her, you know. stopping at Dave's Famous Bagels, having an old-fashioned peanut butter and jelly with a Coke. Yeah. Oh, got a bunch of kids from day at school here. Yeah. Yeah. Hello everybody, and happy January 16th. It's about 35 degrees out, and with that wind, oh, there is no way I'm taking a bike ride. Oh, these ducks, I hope they have their winter feathers on. Hello everybody. Well, in the previous footage you saw Chip training Silky, one of the lady firefighters in the Bayhead Fire Company, on the that hose, it's called a ladder truck for a reason. Like how to operate the hose there. I don't know if anybody goes up there and climbs up there and aims it, or if it's all done by in that box you was in. Anyway, that's hard work, I wanted to, highlight the brave, firefighters and female firefighters, and the hard training that takes place. And I saw her later that day, much later that day, but a little later that day at the recycling center. I forgot to film it. I walked in there, and that magazine rack to the left, there was nothing in it. And on that table where I usually show you, there was nothing on it. And so I guess people cleaned out stuff, I guess at the end of last year. People cleaned that up, and, I guess they threw all the magazines that people didn't take to the, in the recycle bin, and they're being recycled. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't show that. I like, okay, clean, new year, clean up recycling center at lending library, whatever you want to call it, and it's all good. It's all good. Also showed you. Oh, Dave's Bagels. I wanted to do a little interview with him, but after I got there, things started picking up. In fact, when I was there, things were picking up because, it it was lunchtime, right? But any parents from Bayard School that are watching this, kudos to you for raising well-behaved kids. Because, well, those kids were in 8th grade, but, some kids, they're sitting in the 7-Eleven or the, Dunkin' Donuts, and they're like cackling like hyenas and, just being loud and obnoxious, but not our Bayhead kids. They were well behaved, they were talking at normal volume, and that's that. Anyway, also went to the beach. Hope you've enjoyed that. And, I picked up those 2 baby clams. One of them was broken. I didn't realize how broken it was till I got home. So I had to 86 it, as they say. Joy is going to go to a new church. I think it's in Howell. I think it's like a half hour from here. She explained to me why, but, I'm not going to make that public. I guess she's ready to go to a new church. She misses Pastor John, and I don't know, I guess she just wants to go to a new church. So maybe I'll bring the camera and document that a little. Yeah. And on the other video, I went to show you the Bible verse, and for some reason the camera shut off. Maybe the battery was low, I don't know. But I'm going to try again in this video. What was it? Psalm 49? I think it is. Hold on. Yes, here it is. So you guys are feeling a little overwhelmed. Here it is, Psalm 46, I'm sorry, Psalm 46. Yeah, so that's from Psalm 46. Check it out. It's when I, past few days have been, all this stuff in the world, right? And you start to, get worried about, what's going to happen and stuff. You open Psalm 46 and that calms you down. That, music, and art. Of course, prayer. Yeah. Above all, prayer. So anyway, guys, I wanted to take a bike ride today, but that wind was kicking in. I'm like, there's no way. No way I'm going to get out there on my bike. All right? So I may check in tomorrow or Sunday, but please stay tuned. There's more to come. Yeah.
Yeah, because they were pretty on like an hour.
Yeah. Well, if I'm late, it's better to
Then
get
nothing.
half.
That's right.
And I'll just explain to them afterwards that I have to come late because I'm late.
And where it is, when we walk into church, where we go in,
Right.
there's another door before that to the right. It's another part of the little room in the church. But you're not in the sanctuary.
Okay. I saw the door.
Yep,
The whole
yep,
way.
yep, yep. You don't go in the sanctuary, you go into it from outside.
Yeah. telling you, because then he got the mark on you, and then God watched over you your whole life and pulled you out of the hell that you created for yourself. I'm talking about me.
No, I understand.
That brings tears to me. That he loved me that much.
He
loved me that much to worry about me when I just left him and went my own way.
But, Nellie used to tell me how much Jesus loved me. But, it didn't resonate.
Right.
Right? It just
Well, I didn't understand the extent of it, but I needed to hear that Jesus loved me.
Right.
And I did believe him for some reason.
My
The way she
grandmother
said-
told Gail that Gail knew my grandmother when she was a little girl.
They are cruising, man. Oh, buddy. So, whoa, sorry about that. Had a little cramp in my leg. I don't know what happened there. Got a little footage of Joy. Oh my gosh, what was her friend's name? Gail, I think. And coming back from church today, we checked out a new church in Howell. It's called the Grace Point Church in Howell, New Jersey. So it's only a half-hour ride, and it's a nice church. And the young man that spoke, I guess he's a pastor's son, and he did a very good job. He did a very, very good job. Joy wanted to try out a new church, I guess, and she wanted me to join her. I said, okay. I won't go into details about why, but, she just wants to try out a new church, and it's very nice there. It is. Of course, I miss my Jersey Shore Cavalry, but, who knows? We may go back there, and maybe one day if, she can't make it for some reason in the spring, I'll go back to Jersey Shore. But this church is a nice place. The praise team is, the musical ministry, if you want to call it, is nice, and they have a nice sound system, and I wanted to take some footage in there. I'm like, no, not on the first day I'm back there. Maybe if we stay there for a bit, maybe as time goes on and I get to know people, I'll take some footage. But, being a newbie there, I'm just not doing it. But, yeah. So please stay tuned. There's more fun to come. And of course, I got those footage of the ducks. Yeah, so Don't go away. There's more fun to come. Well, good afternoon and happy Friday. It is the 22nd, 21st at the time of this recording, January. My phone's downstairs, so anyway, I'm here to show you some of my 80s CDs. I had an idea for this. Tink inspired me to show some of my 80s CDs with her Rolling Stones post. When did she do that? Yesterday? Okay, gotta move the camera around. Sorry about that, guys. I said, why don't I show some of my 80s? And all these came from the CD tower across the room here. So this isn't my whole collection, but this is a good chunk of it. First up, U2, Wide Awake in America. This is like a 4-song EP, I'd say. And it came out in 1984. 84. If you guys remember this from back in the day, if you know, you know. It has, here's a track list. I like that song, Love Comes Tumbling and Three Sunrises. And I like this sort of homecoming. Yeah. All right. Next up. There had to be some reggae in here, right? Steel Pulse, Caught You Dancing. Some of these, of course, will be in my next mix of, I don't have a title yet, but I have ideas. Next up is Herbie Hancock, Future Shock. If you guys know that song Rocket from 83, yeah. Alright, next up. Paul McCartney's Pipes of Peace. This came out in 1983. I like it. And of course, Bruce Springsteen, Tunnel of Love. This came out 86, 87, I want to say. 87. Next up is Toto 4. This came out in 1982. Yeah. That was the year I was working at window place, Starline Aluminum, and this was, you know, there's many of these songs were on the Rio at that time. Rosanna, and Africa. Yeah. WPLJ back in the day, if you know, you know. And WMMR, but mostly WPMJ. Next up is In Excess, Kick. This came out in 1987. Guns in the Sky, New Sensation, Devil Inside, Need You Tonight, Mediate. Some great, great songs. One of their best. Mediate, Try Not to Hate, yeah. Next up is Jimmy Buffett, Hot Water. About this time, what was it, mid-80s, I started really getting into Jimmy Buffett, you know. Baby's gone shopping, you should be here with me. Yeah. And what was the other song I love? Like, yeah, but the King of Somewhere Hot, yes. This came out, 1988. Around this time I started getting into Jimmy Buffett. Alright, next up is Spyro Gyra. I know, Spyro Gyra, Point of View. I like Spyro Gyra. This came out in 89. Some want to say 90, but this says 89. I don't know what song's on here. Slow Burn's on here. Slow Swing. And speaking of jazz, of course, Pat Metheny, Off Ramp. This came out in 1982. 82. My friend Frank back in the day found the vinyl in the late 80s. I guess someone bought it for someone, and whoever, my guess is someone bought it for a relative, and the relatives didn't like it. So Frank found the vinyl, the record, at the recycling bin in the late 80s. He gave it to me. It was in great, great shape, like brand new. So I'm guessing that's what happened. Next up, Buster Poindexter. I showed this in my last video, but this came out 1987. And that song, Hot, Hot, Hot. Yeah. Next up, had to include this. I showed this in my last video. Rush Signals. But this came out in 1982. I remember this. This was in heavy rotation in the early 80s. Next up, a 80s classic, Brian McFerrin, Don't Worry, Be Happy. Yeah. And he did an interesting version of Baby You Can Drive My Car. Baby, you can drive my car.